And another option that you want to have is an inflation factor on your policy. In other words, you want it to have an option where the payment that they will make to either you or the facility will go up 5% every year. So that in 20 years after you purchase it, like if you purchase $3,000 a month, in fact, now would be a good time to say you just want the bare bones when you get a policy. You want to have coverage. I always recommend lifetime. 5 years is good. If you can't afford it at all, try to eke out enough to pay for 2 years of coverage. Like I said, the state then will help you sooner, and you won't have to spend all your money down. Then you want to have at least $3,000 of coverage in a lump sum. The daily rate is okay, but in a lump sum, you have an opportunity to draw down for any type of service. In other words, if you have to have a nurse that comes in twice a week and she's $250 a day, then a $100 a day policy is just going to pay you $100. Whereas if you have a lump sum policy, then you can draw the $250 for her costs. Okay, then the next thing you want, there's 2 more things you need to have. 3 if you're married. A 90-day elimination period, because Medicare pays for the first 100 days. Then you want to have a spousal clause if you're married. If you're married, if you pay on the program for 10 years and one of you passes away, the other one's got a paid-up policy. So that's the bare bones. Anything else, I think, is frivolous, a waste of money, and it's expensive anyways. So how expensive is it, Phyllis? Look at these prices.
Yeah, really.
Thank you, Becky. Let's give Becky a hand. Okay, so in Texas, we've got, for assisted living, $28.82. The average daily rate in a nursing home is $177 a day. A day. A semi-private room is $130. And then your home health care, and we had my Aunt Lil, she had to have around-the-clock care for about 3 or 4 months, and it was only $12 an hour. Do you know what that is for a month? $9,000. $9,000 for someone to sit with my aunt and do a little cleaning, and a little cooking, and just making sure that she was able to get around. So it's expensive. That's why you want to have some sort of coverage. It's not going to cover everything, but it'll help out. It'll help out a lot. And in the
and what age should you get long-term care?
At 50.
At 50.
If you're 50 or older, you need to have long-term care.
Now, what about if, like, I'm going to be 50, my husband's going to be 64, so do we buy one together? Do we buy separately? How does that work?
Well, again, this all depends on your finances. A cheaper way would be to have one policy, and then whoever gets sick first checks into that coverage. But then there isn't coverage for the other person if the other person gets sick at the same time, per chance. So but
then, you can always up it, can't you? You get a policy, and then if you end up using it, can you?
Yeah, well, but if you're already sick, you can't.
But for the other person,
could buy their own policy. But of course, you have to go through all the medical stuff. And if you email us, we can give you a lot of information. We've got information from the Caring Connections, Elder Locator, Community Council of Greater Dallas. We've also got another thing here called the Age Page, getting your affairs in order, just an actual process of what do you need to do. Then the Area Agency for Aging had a big program, and we have the list of all the people that had a booth at that program. So you can just look at the name and Google it and check it out. because you really want to look at these facilities and look at all the different options that you have before you need to use it.
Right. Okay. And I think it's important to know that there are phone numbers you'll have too. I find all the time people give me a call at work and they'll say, I don't have a computer. I don't know how to use a computer. Well, there's phone numbers to it. And
Right.
you just have to go to MsBizRadio.com or call 972-831-8866. What do we have coming up in the next segment?
Okay, in the next segment, we're going to talk about how do you pay for these high costs. And we're also going to look at some inexpensive solutions to the problem. And they are a hoot, let me tell you.
And again, stay with us. This is Ms. Biz Radio on News Radio 1080 KRLD.
Empowering women in personal finance. This is Ms. Biz on News Radio 1080 KRLD.
And good afternoon again. We are back with Ms. Biz Radio herself, Christina Gears.
And we got our big girl panties on.
That's right. Your integrated financial planner, and we are at the Heritage Senior Center of Irving. So you have people giving you the crazy excuses, most crazy excuses for not having long-term care insurance.
I know. And one of the main reasons I wanted to have the event here today is because we had the Miss Mature Irving program last night. And oh, by the way, I want to thank Linda Spencer, the director of the Heritage Senior Center, for all that you do. And also, I want to thank Jim Shannon from Northlake College, who is videoing the program today, and 4 of his students. So thank you guys. Really appreciate it.
Good job.
So, the cheap and inexpensive ways of handling your long-term care insurance is, of course, die in your sleep. That was what I said in the very beginning.
People actually said, I'm going to die in my sleep.
Oh, I mean.
They actually have said that.
People say the strangest things. And, it sounds really jerky. And then as soon as they say it, you can just see it go across their face like, that's stupid.
They realize it, yeah.
But they won't say it, but you could see that there's this recognition, especially guys. You guys, you never want to own up to, not knowing or being not informed. So my parents died before they were 62, so I won't live very long, so I don't have to worry about that stuff. And they tell me that about saving for retirement, too. I don't have to worry about I'm going to die.
It's like a badge of honor. My parents died when they were before 62, so therefore, is that a badge of honor?
Well,
I find that very sad, actually.
I do too, but like I said, these aren't rational comments, Phyllis. People will say whatever they say to throw you off so that you go, oh, okay, I understand that.
So as a financial planner, when someone says that to you, what do you say? What do you do?
I said, good. Who'd you get that note from? Because I want to go to them and get a note that I want to die in my sleep too. I mean, I just tell them right out, do you really think that that's going to happen? Well, I can't afford it. Well, if you can't afford it, then this is what we're going to need to do. Because if you're going to have to use it, we have to prepare the rest of the family for what's going to happen when you can't afford it. And then you want to start giving away some of your money to your kids in a trust, of course, because they'll spend it as fast as you can give it to them. Do you ever notice that? They never come to you and ask you for a flat screen. Oh, Mom, me and Harry, we really need some money. We're really short, and we would love to have a 52-inch flat screen. What would you say to them? Forget it, right? But they don't do that. They come to you and they say, Claire needs braces, Mom. And we just have been so tight, and everything has been in. We had to get all new clothes this school year and da-da-da-da-da-da. I said, you go to their house and you look for that flat screen. You say, how'd you buy that? And you don't give them no money for Claire's braces, okay? Because that's all set up. So the other thing is I'll do a bullet. My wife and I have a pact, and we're going to end it all together. Okay, so you're going to be deathly ill, and she's going to commit suicide because it's your turn to go out? I don't think so. Have you checked with her? And she's sitting right there. So I'm talking to both of them, and I said, did you know this? And she's going, no, I didn't know that. Oh, so my wife's going to take care of me. You do not want to take care of that man. I'm telling you. You do not, and you don't want him taking care of you. I mean, you know how he takes care of himself. You think he's going to take care of you any better? You know, you're up a creek, girl.
Honey, can you get me some tea? Get it yourself. No. Where's the tea bag? Forget it. I'll get it myself, right?